Hi, everyone, and welcome to the WP Minute. I'm Eric Karkovac. Today's episode features a segment from Matt's discussion with Beaver Builder's Robby McCullough. Robby stopped by to tell us about Beaver Builder's AI integration and the strategy behind it. The guys also dig into how this technology fits into WordPress and the greater open source landscape. Now, you can catch the entire episode over at our WP Minute Plus channel. Visit thewpminute.com for all the details.
Speaking of OpenClaw and watching some of these technologies, I'm of the mindset that this stuff is going to get more expensive, and we're already starting to see it, right? You're starting to see it with the different, management of your tokens. The rate limiting is the word I was looking for, like the rate limiting and spend on like Opus 4.7 versus 4.6. A lot of people are now like, oh, I'm just going to go 4.6. Probably just like you, I've been dabbling in much more open source models because I'm looking at this going, hey, we're going to need open source in like 5 years' time for AI, for anyone to run this and be able to afford it, because the models are going to get pretty amazing in, say, 5 years, but they're going to be so damn expensive. For the reason of they're going to get faster, they are going to get way better, and those companies are going to say, if you want this power, you're going to have to pay for it, to the point where you'll be considering, do I hire somebody for, let's say, $100,000 to work on in the business, or do I spend $100,000 on this agent? And the difference is I don't have to pay health insurance and they don't take a vacation, right? Those will be serious things that people, but listen, as another aside, the insurance companies are going to screw this all up, and you're going to have to be paying insurance on your agents to the point where you're just going to be like, what the hell are we doing? We're back to hiring humans again.
Liability.
Yeah, liability. Right. Yeah, certainly liability for sure. So I think, I'm looking for the successes now early on and what's happening in open source land for AI, because I think we're going to need it. I think open source is a necessity, not even a business plan anymore. Like, we're going to need open source in order to just survive. And I think people are going to change their tune on like what open source means in about 5 years. Your thoughts on the trend of open source in AI?
Admittedly, I haven't tinkered with open source models all that much, or local models. I have been suffering from this, shared experience where the pace that everything is moving right now is so fast. And, I'll go to bed one night thinking like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to play with this. I haven't gotten to do this yet. I have this thing on my to-do list. And then I woke up and, OpenAI announces their pet feature, and you can hatch a pet in Codex, and you can give it a name. And as I was like, there goes my day. So I haven't like jumped on the Mac Mini train yet. I have my old gaming rig down here with a graphics card. Like, I know I could be playing around with some of the local models and throw it on the GPU. That just has been one of those areas that I haven't had the time. I think that the token demand that we're seeing right now, I've heard it put in a way that like any company that is generating tokens are like the demand is outpacing the supply, and the bottlenecks right now are compute, and then like eventually it might be like energy, right? Like the demand is just like skyrocketing, and that's, again, it's like wild. Another term I heard just today is like a once in a generation technology that's coming out right now. And it feels like we're living through something like that, short of like maybe the internet or like personal computing. I haven't experienced in my lifetime. So like, to answer your question, I don't know. I think that like one of the areas I'm looking into that I haven't really had to before is routing. I've been running like the $20 Codex a month subscription, and then like the $100 Claude, and I switch off. Like, I have my OpenClaw running through Codex. I mostly use Claude Code for my coding projects, but then I'll like I've upgraded one and downgraded the other for a month. And like, for the most part, like yesterday was the night that Claude reset its weekly. So I was like, oh, okay, let's load it up. Like, let's try and get as close to that 0% usage as I can and like maximize my tokens. What I'm curious to play with, once that that kind of subsidization. Sorry, I have baby brain. Once tokens being subsidized by VC, like once the cost starts to catch up with what we're actually paying, I'm curious to play with tools like Open Router, or explore some of these ways to use different models for different tasks and not have your Opus 4.7 working on like copying files or just doing the kind of grunt work tasks. But I haven't gotten there yet.